The moment Billionaire CEO Olivia Hart saw her daughter standing beside the quiet janitor, she froze. Not because of his old uniform. Not because he looked poor. It was because of the small black photograph lying on the table between them. Olivia picked it up with shaking fingers. In the picture, the man she knew as a simple school janitor was wearing a military uniform, standing beside several soldiers. His face was younger, harder, almost impossible to recognize. And on the back of the photograph were 4 words that made Olivia's heart stop. Do not trust anyone. If you enjoy emotional and mysterious stories like this, subscribe to Kindness Story, like this video, and tell us your opinion in the comments. The man in the photograph was Daniel Reed, a single father who worked at an expensive private school in Kuwait. To most people, Daniel was invisible. He cleaned hallways, fixed broken doors, carried boxes, and quietly helped students when they needed something. But Olivia's daughter, Emma, saw something different in him. Emma was 23 and had grown up surrounded by luxury. Her mother owned hotels, companies, and several businesses across the Gulf. Yet despite having everything money could buy, Emma often felt alone. Then she met Daniel. Their first conversation happened after Emma dropped a folder in the hallway. Papers scattered everywhere. Before she could bend down, Daniel was already helping her collect them. You should be more careful, he said with a small smile. Emma laughed. And you should stop appearing out of nowhere. Daniel smiled, but his eyes suddenly moved toward the school entrance. For a second, his entire expression changed. Emma noticed. Are you okay? Daniel looked back at her. Yes. Just an old habit. She did not understand what he meant. Over the next few weeks, Emma began noticing strange things about him. Daniel never sat with his back toward a door. He always noticed unfamiliar cars. Sometimes his phone rang, and he would walk away before answering. One afternoon, Emma heard him whisper into the phone. No. She's not involved. Emma stopped behind the corner. Daniel continued. You promised me this was over. Then he ended the call. Emma's heart raced. Who was he talking about? And why did he sound afraid? When Olivia learned that Emma had been spending time with Daniel, she immediately became suspicious. You don't know this man, Olivia warned. I know enough, Emma replied. You know where he works. That's not the same thing. He's kind. Olivia looked away. Kind people can have secrets too. Emma became angry. You think money makes you know everyone? Olivia had no answer. But secretly, she asked her security manager to investigate Daniel. 2 days later, the report arrived. It was strangely incomplete. Daniel Reed had no criminal record. No history of financial trouble. No suspicious business activity. But there was one blank period in his history. Almost 8 years were missing. Olivia stared at the report. Find out what happened during those years. Her security manager hesitated. We tried. And? Someone removed the records. That night, Olivia received an anonymous message. Stop investigating Daniel Reed. She immediately called security. But before they could trace the number, another message appeared. You are looking in the wrong direction. Olivia felt a cold fear move through her. Meanwhile, Emma had started to believe her mother was simply trying to separate her from Daniel. Then one rainy evening, Emma saw Daniel standing outside the school gate. A dark vehicle stopped beside him. A man stepped out. They spoke for less than a minute. Daniel suddenly looked angry. The man handed him an envelope. Daniel opened it. His face became pale. Emma watched from a distance. She thought Daniel was hiding something terrible. She followed him. Daniel entered a small apartment building where he lived with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Emma stood outside, confused. Then she heard Lily crying. Daniel rushed inside. My little girl has been sick, he explained later when Emma asked. Emma felt ashamed for suspecting him. But the mystery only grew. The next morning, Daniel found Emma waiting outside. I saw you last night, she said. Daniel became silent. I thought you were in trouble. I am, he replied. Emma's eyes widened. With what? Daniel looked at her. With my past. Before he could explain, his phone rang. He answered. His expression changed instantly. What hospital? He ran. Emma followed him without thinking. At the hospital, Lily was safe, but Daniel's old friend had been brought in after an accident. The injured man looked at Daniel and whispered. They found you. Daniel closed his eyes. Who? The men from before. Emma finally understood that this was much bigger than a simple secret. That evening, Olivia arrived at the hospital. She saw Daniel standing beside Lily's bed. Then she noticed something hanging from his neck. A small military identification tag. Olivia's face went pale. Where did you get that? Daniel looked at her. I earned it. Olivia stepped closer. Who are you? Daniel remained silent for several seconds. Then he finally said. I was a Navy SEAL. Emma stared at him. Olivia could barely breathe. Daniel explained that years earlier, he had served on dangerous missions overseas. During one operation, his team had rescued several civilians from a terrorist attack. But after the mission, someone inside the operation betrayed them. Daniel's closest friend had been blamed. Daniel discovered the truth, but powerful people wanted the evidence destroyed. So he disappeared. He changed his life, became a single father, and chose a quiet job where nobody would notice him. The strange phone calls were not about another woman. The mysterious meetings were not secret relationships. He had been protecting his former teammates and his daughter. Then Olivia remembered the photograph. She turned it over. Do not trust anyone. Daniel nodded. That message was written by my friend before he disappeared. Olivia looked at him with tears in her eyes. I thought you were hiding something from my daughter. I was, Daniel said quietly. Emma looked hurt. What? Daniel looked at her. I was hiding how much danger followed me. Silence filled the room. Then Lily suddenly walked toward Olivia and held her hand. Are you Emma's mother? Olivia nodded. Lily smiled. Daddy says you are very strong. Olivia began to cry. For years, she had believed strength meant controlling everything. Her companies. Her family. Her daughter's future. But that night, she finally understood something. Daniel had been strong in a completely different way. He had given up fame, comfort, and recognition just to keep his daughter safe. And Emma had not chosen him because he was a former soldier. She had chosen him because, beneath the quiet uniform of a janitor, she had seen a good man. Months later, Olivia offered Daniel a powerful position in her company. Daniel refused. I don't need a title, he said. I just need time with my daughter. Olivia smiled through her tears. Then maybe that's the one thing money can never buy. Daniel looked at Emma. Emma smiled. And for the first time, Olivia no longer saw a poor janitor standing beside her daughter. She saw a father who had sacrificed everything, a man who had carried invisible wounds for years, and a person who had chosen kindness when nobody was watching. The biggest secret was never that Daniel had been a Navy SEAL. The real secret was that the quiet man everyone ignored had been protecting people his entire life. Sometimes, the person we judge too quickly is carrying a story we know nothing about. And sometimes, kindness is not a sign of weakness. It is proof of strength.